Hey, thanks for joining us here on 9 News Watch for a look at your top headlines on this Tuesday, August the 17th. I'm Chris Bianchi. Let's start things out by taking a look at the weather picture, where today we'll be looking at another hot and smoky and low air quality day for Denver in the Front Range. But you get into the mountains, and that's where we're going to be looking at some fairly widespread showers and storms, especially the further west you go. Tomorrow, though, if you're traveling on I-70 through Glenwood Canyon, today's the day to do it, because tomorrow we're going to see some very widespread showers and storms for western Colorado in particular. That is in association with a sharp cold front that will make its way into Denver in the Front Range by Thursday. Until then, though, Denver stays on the hot and hazy side with highs in the mid-90s both today and tomorrow. Big front arrives on Thursday. That'll cool us on down with a fairly cloudy and showery day. On Thursday, we'll dry on up for Friday and into the start of the weekend. Now, I mentioned the air quality. That continues to be a big issue for Denver in the Front Range. We have an ozone action alert day, an air quality advisory that is in place until 4 p.m. for your day today. For today, the main concern is actually going to be ground ozone. I know there's a lot of discussion about the wildfire smoke. Yes, that is in place, but it is mainly at the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere. At the surface, it is mainly that ground ozone. So again, limit that time outdoors. We will be looking at that lower air quality for today and tomorrow. Should see it clear on up a little bit by Thursday and into your Friday. But speaking of air quality, this might sound a little bit on the weird side, but you might notice that wildfire smoke, it is actually helping to make our air quality a little bit better. 9 News meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen explains.
The view of the foothills is getting covered back up by western wildfire smoke, but the air quality index is holding at moderate levels Monday evening. It's a strange atmospheric setup where the wildfire smoke may have helped improve our air quality on the Front Range. It prevented some ozone pollution from being formed by blocking some of the sunlight. The wildfire smoke itself wasn't thick enough to warrant an air quality alert on Monday. Most of it was also high up in the atmosphere, away from the air quality sensors. So the PM 2.5, which is the measurement of wildfire smoke, has only made it up to 57 so far. That's in the moderate range, which is considered unhealthy for very sensitive people. An air quality alert is issued when the air quality index is forecast to break 100. At 4 p.m. Monday, an alert was issued for ozone, which could have been even worse if it wasn't for the smoke blocking some of the solar radiation. It's the sunlight that creates ozone pollution by baking other pollutants like nitrogen oxides and volatile organic compounds. Monday would have been a classic high ozone day with temperatures in the 90s for several hours and very few clouds in the sky, if it weren't for the smoke. Similar days this summer have produced ozone levels in the 130 to 140 range. So far, it has stayed below 100, but will likely break that during the newscast or shortly after. Meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen.
Jaguars is over. He had converted to being a tight end, but the former Broncos first-round pick and quarterback was cut by the Jaguars this morning. Now, it's probably hard to believe that it's been a full decade since Tim Tebow was the Broncos quarterback who steered them through that miracle-laden 2011 season. Old-time Bronco fans will probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Tebow was traded to the Jets in 2012 right after the Broncos signed Peyton Manning. So Tim Tebow no longer a Jacksonville Jaguar. Meanwhile, a timeline for evacuating U.S. citizens and allies from Afghanistan remains unclear. They have to wait and see what happens next. And that includes Haroon Zarifi, his wife and 2 daughters, the oldest of which is only 4 years old. 9 News reporter Victoria De Leon talked to Zarifi, who admitted it's hard to stay hopeful.
My wife and the whole family was kind of scared and crying and stuff. Just from Denver, I know 5 other families. They're in Afghanistan. Just want everyone to pray for us.
This is where Haroon Zarifi's family wants to be.
My children, which they have no idea what's going on.
But their home in Denver has been empty since June.
So I came to Afghanistan. My dad, he was sick. So I had to come here and I took him to India for almost a week. We came back to Afghanistan and I'm still here with my kids and my wife.
Monday morning, Haroon could only talk to us through a phone call.
And we are out of electricity. There's no power.
In the midst of chaos.
Now the airport is controlled by America, but it's out of control. and Taliban's on the gate, and they're doing a blind shooting. So I couldn't give myself the courage to go closer for my own safety and my family.
Thousands of miles away from the violence is a quiet neighborhood, waiting for their return.
When I see these pictures, it's me and my older daughter when I was in my house in Denver. So I'm trying to think positive, but still I'm thinking like I'm not gonna go back anymore. Hopefully I can make it.
For now, it's unclear how much longer this house will miss its family.
We need help now as a citizen. It's our right to ask for help from the U.S.
Victoria De Leon, 9 News.
Meanwhile, the country of New Zealand is imposing a full 3-day nationwide lockdown due to a single coronavirus case. New Zealand's largest city, Auckland, meanwhile, will be under a full 7-day lockdown. It's the first known confirmed case of coronavirus in New Zealand in about 6 months, and New Zealand, well known for a, quote, go hard, go early approach in combating the virus. Closer to home, Silverthorne has become a very busy place. Summer and winter tourism traffic often pours out into this small mountain town, but town leaders say that the bigger problem is when all of that traffic pours on out at the same time. That causes major delays and backups at the exit 205, where traffic heading east out of town on I-70 towards Denver can stretch miles and miles through town. 9 News' Matt Renew has more.
Place like Silverthorne.
Silverthorne is an amazing community.
Town manager Ryan Highland says there's only one spot.
One really big trouble spot
He doesn't like.
and that is exit 205.
Exit 205, where traffic getting onto eastbound I-70 towards Denver tends to come to a stop, backing up with long lines and delays.
10 years ago, we used to see backups occasionally on large holidays. Over the last decade, we're now seeing that very frequently. We're seeing that on weekdays, midday, non-holiday weekends.
And it's a spot where traffic can back up from the south side of town all the way to the north side of town, affecting drivers along with first responders stuck in around 4 miles of traffic.
Our backups that were frequently a mile or two long now can stretch to 3 or 4 miles.
About a decade ago,
This is the fix.
CDOT put together $1 million study to fix this intersection, but the years have passed.
CDOT knows it's a problem. This was their study. This isn't Silverthorne saying, we need your help. This is us reminding them that they had a plan and they abandoned it.
And much like that traffic, things haven't moved.
CDOT essentially abandoned that effort and it's been sitting on the shelf collecting dust.
Add to it, and a new left turn light has taken away free turns when the road is clear.
If the light was green and you had a giant 10-second gap, cars could make that turn onto the on-ramp. Now we have a red arrow and you sit there.
And Ryan says work needs to start moving so traffic can start moving too.
The project has been moving about as slow as the traffic in Silverthorne.
Now, if you like Girl Scout cookies, listen up. There's going to be a new one added to their lineup starting early next year. The new Adventurefuls cookie is brownie inspired with a caramel flavored creme and a hint of sea salt. Sounds pretty good to me, I'm not going to lie, but I love sugar. Meantime, that new Adventurefuls cookie will debut next February when the new lineup again comes out for 2022. Now, staying on food, my favorite topic, an old restaurant with a new name and a fresh twist where the chefs shop at a local farmer's market and they make a menu based on what they see. 9 News meteorologist Lauren Robinson has the story in today's The Feed.
Route 40 Cafe, located on, Route 40, is all about connecting. Much like Colfax Avenue, it links food and community.
We have 2 goals for this restaurant. One is to create amazing food, and the second goal is to connect communities.
Originally known as The Goods, it reopened after a pandemic shutdown with a new name.
The Goods was more of a mission statement for all of the community work we do and how much we help all of the organizations, schools, groups, everybody around us. And we still do all of that, but we rebranded to Route 40.
But the same values for everyone.
If you can't afford your meal, or if you're kind of just not in the best spot and you come in, we're totally happy to help you out, give you a sandwich, make sure you're doing good. Just want to take care of everybody like it's all family.
Spreading that family tree across the community as Mark's team shops across the street at the City Park Farmers Market every week and creates a new ever-changing menu based on what they find. Like this homemade whipped cream dish with fresh fruit and peaches from Miller Farms.
Very good and very light.
Very light. Yeah.
And I can taste the lemon on top. Is this lemon zest?
Yep, just a little bit of lemon zest.
And this smoked salmon plate with garlic, lemon, mozzarella cheese, and purple fingerling tomatoes from Owl Canyon Farms.
Very flavorful. I love it.
Thank you.
I really like this a lot, actually.
And for some truly unique bites, this creative crew has new twists on old favorites, like putting a pizza on a fluffy, flaky, croissant-like crust.
It's a very tricky process because with the stone so hot, it's easy to burn the bottom.
And even reinventing the beet, making it a dish worth trying.
I really like this, actually, and I'm not a big beet fan.
A perfect pit stop along Route 40. For Mile High Mornings, I'm Lauren Robinson.
Ending with two different stories about delicious food. Now that is a way to close the program, and a full look at your 9 News headlines on this Tuesday, August 17th. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. I'm Chris Bianchi. Have a great rest of your day.